In a world ruled by oceans and empires, few names could strike as much fear or admiration as that of Sir Francis Drake, a sailor, an adventurer, a ruthless privateer, and a celebrated hero. But who was he really? Was he a noble warrior in service of England, or simply one of history's greatest pirates? The truth lies somewhere in between. Francis Drake was born in the year 1540 in Tavistock, a small town in Devon, England. The oldest of 12 children, Drake grew up in a humble family but always harbored big dreams, dreams that would eventually lead him across the globe. As a young boy, he apprenticed with merchants and sailors, learning the unforgiving ways of the sea. Little did he know, those early lessons would forge him into one of the most infamous mariners of all time. During the 16th century, England was locked in a bitter rivalry with Spain over trade, religion, and territory in the New World. Drake saw this as his golden opportunity. With unofficial blessing from Queen Elizabeth I, he became a privateer, a state-sanctioned pirate. His mission? To harass the Spanish fleet and seize their treasures for England. Drake excelled at this with ruthless determination. He raided Spanish galleons, plundered ports in the Caribbean, and captured unimaginable wealth. Tales of his daring exploits spread like wildfire. To the Spanish, he was El Drac, the dragon, and became one of their most hated enemies. To the English, he was a swashbuckling hero, fighting for the glory of the crown. But Drake's ambition didn't stop at looting Spanish ships. In 1577, he undertook the adventure of a lifetime, a voyage to circumnavigate the globe. With his flagship, the Golden Hind, Drake set sail on what would become both an expedition and a campaign of destruction. As his ship navigated treacherous waters and foreign lands, Drake raided Spanish settlements in South America, capturing immense riches and striking fear deep into the heart of the Spanish Empire. When he returned to England in 1580, 3 years after setting out, Drake made history. Emerging from his triumphant voyage, he became the first Englishman to sail around the world. Queen Elizabeth, impressed by his bravery and spoils of gold, greeted him with open arms. She knighted him on the deck of the Golden Hind, making him Sir Francis Drake, turning a pirate into a knight of the realm. Drake's most legendary moment came in 1588, during one of England's darkest hours. Spain, under King Philip II, had finally had enough of England's meddling and launched the Spanish Armada, an enormous fleet of ships tasked with invading England and crushing its defenses. Now an admiral in the English Navy, Drake prepared for what seemed like an impossible battle. The Spanish fleet was larger, better equipped, and feared across Europe. But Drake had something they did not: unorthodox tactics and a deep understanding of how to exploit the sea itself. In the dramatic battle over the English Channel, Drake set ablaze unmanned ships and sent them drifting into the tightly packed armada. The chaos broke Spanish formations while English ships picked them off one by one. Storms and miscalculations did the rest. By the end of the fighting, the mighty armada had been utterly destroyed, and England's shores had been saved. Drake's leadership during the battle cemented his legacy as a national hero. England's naval victory marked the beginning of its rise as a global sea power. To England, Sir Francis Drake embodied courage and defiance, a man who brought glory and riches to the crown. But to Spain, those same acts painted him as a ruthless pirate, an outlaw who attacked without mercy or honor. The truth, as always, is more complicated. Drake was a man of his time, ambitious, cunning, and willing to bend the rules of war when it suited him. Francis Drake spent his final years still at sea, continuing his campaigns against Spain. But the oceans that had granted him so much wealth and glory would ultimately claim him. He died of dysentery in 1596 off the coast of Panama and was buried at sea in a lead coffin. His body was never recovered. Though centuries have passed, the legend of Sir Francis Drake endures. To some, he was a hero, a patriot who stood against impossible odds. To others, he was nothing more than a pirate, a man who took what he wanted at any cost. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in the waves, a story as unpredictable and untamed as the sea itself.
The sea was my destiny, and it shall forever be my grave.